I'm Peggy. Thank you for letting us be a part of your day. And today we're just going to talk for a little bit. We want everybody to be well and happy and safe. And this is the most wonderful time of the year. But I am honored to have Master Deputy J.R. Brown here with me from the Greenville County Sheriff's Office. And we want people to know if you're getting guns for Christmas, if you got that firearm under the Christmas tree, what the law says, and even if you already are a gun owner, what you need to know, because we want people to be safe. Our Constitution, our forefathers, gave us the right to bear arms, but then with that comes responsibility, and that's where you step in.
Yes, ma'am. It requires tremendous amount of responsibility on gun owners' parts to ensure their safety as well as the safeties of people around them or home members, such as their children, to make sure that you keep them safe while you possess that firearm.
Yeah, so you want to start with that. If you have firearms in your home and you're legally okay to have them, you sometimes need to take extra precaution for your people around you, especially children.
Yes, ma'am. We encourage the use of gun locks or safes to store your firearm properly. Keep it in a safe place, out of reach of small children. We don't want to see anyone get hurt that's underage, that doesn't understand the responsibility or the power that a firearm possesses.
Yeah, because they're always little children are always curious.
They are very curious, and we do have programs at the Sheriff's Office where we teach children that if they see a firearm, that they should not touch it, that they should step away and go tell an adult that they saw the firearm and let the adult handle the firearm instead of the child. So we encourage the use of those safes, gun locks, to keep them stored properly out of the reach of those young children.
Now, what does our law say about gun ownership? Just run down you have to be 18?
Yes, ma'am. You have to be 18 in order to buy a long gun. You have to be 21 to purchase a pistol.
Okay.
Now, 18-year-olds can be in possession of pistols and younger as well, as long as there is a competent adult that is legally past the requirements in order to be in possession of a firearm. They can allow that child to use the firearm at their instruction.
Okay.
So that way they can use it, receive proper firearm safety techniques, and use the gun appropriately.
So I'm thinking in terms of the holiday season, and somebody may receive as a gift a gun. Now, there are guns you use for hunting, and then there are people who keep guns in their home to protect themselves. If somebody breaks in, do you want to just address that for us so we know where we stand?
Well, if you do own a gun and someone does break in and steals your gun, you should report that to the Sheriff's Office or your local jurisdictional police force immediately, so that way we can post that information and start searching for that weapon so that we can try to get it back to the rightful owner.
All right.
But keeping them locked up, keeping them in a position that's secure from someone just picking up, such as having gun locks or safes, will help keep those from being stolen.
Now, do you have programs for people? Does the Sheriff's Office or the Police Department have programs for people who have guns and they want to be sure they know what they're doing and how to take care of the guns? And
we can come out and speak with you about gun safety inside your home. But we also encourage you to seek your local gun dealers and other facilities around here. We have a lot of them in Greenville and in the surrounding counties that offer gun training where you can learn to shoot and learn to safe handle that weapon.
What age? You have to be 18?
Well, you can get training under that age as long as you have that adult there that can legally possess that firearm to receive the instructions.
Okay, but 18 is the legal age to own a gun or fire a gun or what?
To purchase one, you have to be 18.
Okay, yes, okay. So what would be your advice now? We're heading into the holidays, and everybody wants to be safe. What will you tell people to be safe?
Yes, I just tell them to remember that guns are always loaded. Always treat a gun as if it's loaded. Even if you think it's unloaded, you still need to treat that gun as that it is loaded. It's very dangerous and could cause injury. We have accidental discharges, or we have people who get shot who buy a weapon who thought the gun was empty. So it's always worth looking, double checking physically and visually to make sure that gun is and safe by having the magazine removed or the bullets removed. So check that and double check it.
And your department does have training situations for people who want to really be on the
Well, we do for our
sharp
deputies,
edge.
but we do not do that for the general public. You would have to seek one of the professional gun dealers or gun stores or shooting ranges here in the upstate in order to receive that
But they
proper
are
training.
available.
They are available, and if you check around, you can find some really good prices to receive proper instruction for safe handling of that firearm.
Because safety is the main thing.
Safety is the number one key factor with all gun-related accidents. Typically when someone is injured or hurt by accident, is they thought the gun was unloaded when actually it was loaded.
And tell me, for those people who are concerned about their own safety within their homes, or when they leave the home to protect, they have guns in their home. What is your advice for people? What do they need to know, and what do they need to do? If they're gun owners, legally, they have a right to this. But what should they do? If you have a gun and you're at home and somebody's going to break in, I mean, that's the whole point in having a gun, is to protect yourself and your belongings and your family.
Yes, ma'am. And there are a lot of different options for securing that weapon, from gun locks all the way up to safes, to quick finger or digits safes that you can get access to that gun. There are certain types of holsters that are available that will keep the weapon secure. Each family will have to look at what dangers are present in their home, whether it's small kids, animals, and use those factors to determine what's going to be the safest mode to protect that firearm.
Okay. Well, now we have a phone number and a website, and we appreciate very much J.R. Brown for giving us your time, and I'll keep that information here in case you didn't get it. But there are programs for people who have guns. Maybe they've owned a gun a long time, but they need to sharpen up a little bit on what the law says and that they are capable of doing. Because in an emergency situation, you have to really remain calm and know what to do.
Time is very precious, right? And typically, if it's an emergency, people are under a lot of stress. So shooting and having good target practice, that is a perishable skill. So go out and practice. Be familiar with your firearms. Seek instruction from a professional to help you understand the use of that firearm and how it operates, so that way you can provide the safest place to have that firearm.
And if you have children in the household, what do you do? If you have a gun and you have children,
you are responsible for that weapon if it's your weapon and you brought it into that home. So it would be a devastating thing to have police or emergency teams respond because of an injury to a small one that got a hold of your firearm. Yeah. So you really have to be responsible and take care of that. There are charges that could be filed if you don't properly secure or take care of your firearm.
So you want to be sure that it is stored
properly. Yes, ma'am.
So that, and children are always, they're curious.
That's correct. They are very curious. You can tell them no time and again, but we've all been there. They'll still want to touch and see. I had children myself. My youngest is 18 now, so I have always worked with them, shown them, let them know safe handling techniques, let them have access to it with my guidance. I didn't want them to not know anything about a firearm and then find a firearm and not understand what to do. So I worked with them, taught them, instructed them what to do when they see one and how to handle it under my guidance.
Okay, so it's important that the parents, if you have a gun in your home and you have children, that you talk to them and you keep that gun in a safe place where they don't have just access. It's not a toy.
Yes, ma'am. I think the instruction, they need to know with toy guns now, they look very realistic and can be very hard to
They're
differentiate
frightening.
between a real one or some of these toys. So making sure your child knows the difference and understands once they get an age which they can be responsible and understand that you're talking the difference between a real one and a toy one. Yeah, I strongly encourage you to have that talk, educate them, teach them the respect of that firearm and the power and capabilities that it has.
And keep the firearm in a safe place where they don't have access to it.
That's correct. Keep it secure so that they don't have access.
Thank you very much for
Yes, ma'am.
sharing with us today. Bless you for coming
Yes,
and
ma'am.
sharing. And we want everybody to be safe. We'll be right back.